I want you to see this. Inspiration says, I'm reading from Messages to Young People, 118, paragraph 1. Inspiration says, now look at those beautiful, juicy fruits. What does a vine bear? What does a vine bear? Grapes. Now, I know there's a vine here, grapevine. How's your grapevine there, brother? It's a dried up and dying. Because how you treat that grapevine. It says here, Messages to Young People, page 118, paragraph 1, a union with Christ. Friends, there's going to be key things said which I'm not going to highlight. But if you got eyes to see, let it be highlighted in your mind. Inspiration says, a union with Christ. I never highlighted, but I want you, if you can see, you should see. A union with Christ by living faith. Pause. How do I get this union? How do I abide in Jesus? Oh, friends, by living faith. By living faith. Living faith. We're going to speak more about that. Let's continue. She says a union with Christ by living faith is enduring, but watch it. If there's going to be a union by living faith, every other union must perish. Are you hearing that? If I'm going to be united with Christ, every other union must perish. You know what that means? If you are in an unequally yoked relationship in courtship, break it off. If it means there's a union you are pursuing, this worldly education, guess what must happen if you're going to have a union with Christ? Break it off. Every other union must perish. If this union is going to be formed with Christ, I don't care. If that union is an ungodly union, it must perish. It must perish. It must perish. We are talking about abiding in Jesus, then every other union must perish. Someone says, oh, I want this and I want that. I want him and I want her. Let me tell you, if you're going to abide in Jesus and you're seeking unconverted people, be assured that heaven is not your home. Heaven is not your home. If they don't embrace the message, heaven is not your home. She continues, inspiration says, Christ first chose us by paying an infinite price for our redemption. And the true believer chooses Christ how? First and last and best in everything. Now watch it. But this union cost us something. It is a union of utter dependence to be entered into by a proud being. By a what kind of being? Who's that proud being? It's you and me. She continues, she says, all who form this union must feel their need of the atoning blood of Christ. They must have change of heart. They must submit their own will to the will of God. Help me, friends. How do I abide in Jesus? What does she say there? Submit. Submit will to God. You know what submitting your will to God's will? It means that you no more decide for yourself. You constantly inquire, Lord, what will thou have me to do?